Dragon Ball fans! I am your host, Gunchpot. Welcome back to Season 3 of Fantasy Fight, the ultimate tournament of power in Sparking Zero. Last time we wrapped up round 1 of our tournament, and you can watch that here. But this time we're moving into round 2, and there are still some faces we haven't seen yet. But by the end of this round, we will have seen the entire roster and we will be well on our way to the finals. Just a reminder, this round is still going to be split up into 2 parts, so we are only doing the first half of the fights here in this video, and in the next one we'll be ending round 2. However, rounds 3, 4, and the rest of the tournament will be their own videos. And if you've been enjoying Season 3 of Fantasy Fight up to this point, why don't you let me know down in the comments and consider leaving a like and subscribing. It really helps me out a lot. But with all that out of the way, let's get into round 2 of our tournament. And this first one is an interesting one. First up, we have Vegeta. Specifically, Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2, who is making his debut in the tournament here in round 2. And he's ready to be the first Vegeta to advance to round 3. However, I'm not so sure this is such a great matchup for Vegeta, because not only is he going up against himself, but a fused version of himself. Of course, we have Gogeta Blue. He was the first fighter in our tournament to advance to the next round, and I'm not so sure he's ready to give up his winning streak just yet. But alright folks, let's get ready for our first battle of round 2, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta versus Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. Alright, let's kick off round 2, Vegeta versus Gogeta. Alright, let's begin. Gogeta starting with a health advantage, but Vegeta coming out the gate really strong, immediately hitting that Infinity Blaster, dealing that entire first health bar. A clean showing from Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta here at the beginning of this fight. Alright, let's see what Gogeta decides to do. It looks like he's going to try to charge, and so is Vegeta, but this Stardust Breaker is coming out, and that is going to connect, dealing a ton of damage to Vegeta. Alright, and now we have this rush attack from Gogeta coming out as well. This is a high-octane fight here at the beginning of round 2, folks. Neither of these fighters are leaving anything on the table. And right now, it looks like Gogeta is in the lead. Vegeta came out strong, but maybe that was just Gogeta allowing Vegeta to take on that advantage. But man, I don't know, folks. It is not looking good for Vegeta now. He is now on his last health bar. This has been such a fast-paced fight, it's hard to keep up. And now that explosive wave is going to come out to stop that combo from Gogeta, but Vegeta is going to try to stay in close, but that is maybe not so good for him as he is now in one-hit territory, and he lost that duel, which means Gogeta Blue is advancing to the next round.
When you consider the fact that you were fighting against somebody like me, you weren't half bad.
And that is Gogeta Blue. Moving on. Okay, folks, we are going to move right along. This next battle is Perfect Cell versus Chiaotzu. Is this ever so handsome big green bug able to stand up to the mini mighty psychic? Let's find out if Chiaotzu has what it takes in this next battle. Okay, Perfect Cell versus Chiaotzu.
Allow me to show you the horror of perfection.
I'm a strong fighter, like all my friends.
Alright, they're ready to go. Let's get into this fight. Once again, Cell beginning with quite a hefty health advantage, but Chiaotzu getting those first couple of hits off in this fight. Now Cell is coming in on the offensive, and he's going to end up hitting this Death Beam, and that's going to directly connect with Chiaotzu, but Chiaotzu is going to send it right back with that Dodon Ray, which Cell is going to block. Both of these fighters have finger beams. I hadn't even considered that, but Cell is definitely taking the advantage in this fight with this early lead. Not only did he have that health advantage, but he's managed to deal a lot of damage to Chiaotzu, but Chiaotzu manages to follow up and get a lot of good damage in on Cell. And he ends up winning that brief encounter as well. Both these fighters looking like they might need to charge up, but Cell wanting to stay in close, not give Chiaotzu the opportunity to charge up that key and hit him with more Dodon Rays. Now, Cell getting Chiaotzu down to his final health bar, and he hits that grab, just smacks that child in the face. And now, Chiaotzu is very, very close to being at the end of his health, We'll have to see if he does anything drastic here. We could see the ultimate comes out, but it doesn't look like Cell is going to give him the opportunity to charge up that ki, and now this Death Beam is going to come out, and that's just going to connect. Cell moving on. And that's Chiaotzu knocked out of the tournament. And next up, we have the immortal Garlic Jr. This undying maniac is ready to take on the leader of the dangerous trio. But my question is, can the Wolf Pack take on the undying Garlic? Let's find out right now. Garlic Jr. versus Bergamo is an interesting one. I think that Garlic has this just based on the information that we have, but who knows?
Think you can stop me? Bergamo the Crusher from the trio of danger, coming at you with full force.
All right, let's begin. Right away, Bergamo getting these first couple of hits off. Now, these fighters do start at the same HP, which is the first fight we've seen so far. All right, Garlic getting some good hits in back on Bergamo, but Bergamo's taking the early lead here. He's looking quite comfortable here in this fight. Hits that grab, sending Garlic flying. This is going to give him an opportunity to charge up some ki. We might be seeing some attacks come out from Bergamo. All right, he's going to use all that to ki blast spam a little bit. He's going to hit another grab. He's liking it, staying in close and personal. We're seeing that a lot today. All right, Bergamo taking some hits from Garlic now, but he dodges that grab. All right, now he's going to get some buffs. Bergamo has a lot going on right now. He has blast buffs. He has defense buffs. He has melee buffs. But Garlic manages to paralyze him and gets in a couple good hits and wins that duel. All right, now Bergamo loving going for these grabs. Keeps trying to grab Garlic, but that time he was ready for it. Dodges out of the way. This is slowing down a little bit here in this fight. Now he wasn't ready for that one. Garlic going right back in, but Bergamo is ready for all of his advances. A good perception from Garlic there is going to put him maybe on the front foot, but I don't know. It's not looking great for him. Bergamo is maintaining his lead. They just keep flying back into one another, and that is going to be Bergamo losing that duel. All right, another one is going to come out, and that one he is going to take the victory on, now wanting to charge up ki, but Garlic is not going to let him, so Bergamo says, whatever, fine, I'll just punch you instead. Okay, a big stagger, and then we're getting a big clash grab here. Let's see what happens, and that is going to go to Bergamo, but Garlic percepts out of it. That was basically a big net neutral from these fighters. Okay, and that's going to be another duel going to Garlic. Interestingly enough, both of these fighters have a red aura. I just thought that was interesting. Now we're getting back into it. Bergamo getting some good damage in on Garlic, but... Okay, it looks like both fighters are going to go for that grab again, but Bergamo does, and now Garlic is on his final health bar. Okay, that was some good damage from Bergamo, but now Garlic is back on the offensive, and so is Bergamo, breaking through Garlic's defense, dealing a ton of damage, leaving him with only half his final health bar left. And we have not seen any blasts or ultimate attacks come out yet in this fight, folks. They are maintaining a pretty low key point. Garlic going for the paralysis beam. That is a mistake as Bergamo dodged it and does that little bit of damage that he needs to finish off Garlic in this fight. All right, that was a big ki blast that Garlic deflected back at Bergamo. They are still both very low now. Bergamo on his last health bar as well. If he doesn't finish it soon, Garlic could bring this fight back, and now Garlic is in one-hit territory. Any attack from Bergamo will finish off Garlic, but Garlic is able to get a grab off, and now they are going in for this clash. This could decide the entire match here, folks, but Garlic wins it. He is going down, swinging, and then just a ki blast to the face finishes him off. That's Bergamo advancing to the next round. Alright, this next battle should be a lot of fun. We have the wicked Namekian Lord Slug, and he's facing off against the pink menace himself, Majin Buu. Can Slug's ancient alien power hold a candle to Buu's unpredictable madness? Let's find out. Lord Slug versus Majin Buu. Honestly, I'm surprised Slug made it to round 2. Okay, let's begin. Both fighters starting at the exact same health, and both of them doing a little bit of damage to one another already. A big Z counter duel is going to go to Slug. And we have this death beam coming out, but Boo manages to dodge, but doesn't follow up on it. That was interesting. Maybe Boo is toying with Slug a little bit. He's gonna send Slug flying, and now both of these fighters dealing about even damage, though Slug is taking an early lead, though that means very little here in the Fantasy Fight arena. All right, Slug vanishing all over the place. Boo is seemingly unable to keep up, though a couple big punches from Boo are gonna continue to send Slug flying. Now Boo continues to take these grabs from Slug. Let's see. Boo looking like he wants to just chill. He doesn't really look like he wants to fight. Maybe he's done with the tournament. All right, a big death beam is going to come out from Slug, and Boo is now not looking great, almost down to that second to last health bar. Another death beam is going to come out from Slug. Boo is going to block that one. He's not out of the fight just yet. We have this big clash incoming. Let's see which one is going to take this. That is going to go to Slug, who's going to follow up with this death beam once again. Now Boo at just about 1.5 health bars left. Now Slug is charging all the way up to sparking mode. We're gonna see this ultimate attack come out, and that's gonna connect. Folks, this might finish off Boo. I think Boo is just tired of the tournament and just really doesn't want to fight anymore. Those eye lasers are gonna come out, leaving Boo with just a little bit of health left. I think Slug is gonna be able to finish him off. Boo is gonna go take a nap after this one, and then maybe get a treat. And that is Boo winning that Snap Vanish duel, but I don't think it's going to amount to much unless he tries to use some of these ultimate air blast attacks. But nope, that is going to be Slug advancing to the next round. A surprise Slug moving on. Okay, this one should be a really fun fight. And whoever goes home, we're gonna be letting some folks down. It's pure chaos versus divine justice. Will Kid Boo, destruction incarnate, overwhelm the might of the hero who harnessed that destruction? I am anticipating this is going to be a nail-biter, folks, so let's get right into Kid Boo versus God of Destruction Toppo. This is gonna be a good one, folks. Strap in for Kid Boo versus God of Destruction Toppo.
I shall eradicate you, and not a single speck shall remain.
Okay, let's see if Chaos Incarnate can destroy a God of Destruction. Now, Toppo is starting at a health advantage here, but we'll see if that matters. Looks like right away here, Toppo's getting a good combo off on Boo, but Boo puts a stop to it and goes in for some damage of his own. He's going to need to do more than that, however, if he wants to make up this health discrepancy. All right, Boo wanting to charge up, but Toppo not going to let him. We have both fighters. Nice little vanish duel that is going to go to Toppo. Boo's first health bar is down now, but he's trying to get in there. And that, once again, is going to go to Toppo. All right, Boo trying to get in and just do any damage he can with his fists, but Toppo's fists, frankly, are just much bigger. Okay, he has the Hakai Aura, which is going to give him a bunch of buffs, and he tries to go for that little blast attack there, but it didn't connect to Boo, but I don't think it really matters. A big grab is going to come out, and that's going to send Boo flying now with 2 health bars remaining, while Toppo still technically on his 4th. And that is going to be a lot of damage. I would not want to get smacked by one of those meaty paws, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Boo is dancing around. He does have the speed advantage here, but it just doesn't matter as Toppo has the strength. A good combo from Boo followed up by a Kamehameha. It's going to deal a lot of damage to Toppo. Folks, this is still going. This fight is not over yet. Boo is trying his best. He definitely does not want to lose this fight, especially against such a powerful opponent. Knocking out God Toppo in this round would absolutely spell change for this entire tournament. Now they are on the same health bar. Boo has managed to bring back this fight in a major way. Now, though he is still almost on his last health bar, any damage from Toppo could put him onto that final health bar. He needs to get in and deal more damage to Toppo. And that is going to be Toppo burning down Boo to that final health bar, but Boo is not done yet. He is trying his best. He hits the perception after losing that duel, but the hands from Toppo are just too massive. Big clash. This could be the end. And that is going to do it. Toppo advancing to the next round.
Your suffering will be short.
Kid Boo, a favorite, knocked out of the tournament. Alright folks, this next battle is one of raw rage versus refined power. In the first corner, we have Kale, an absolute maniac who dominated last round. And her opponent is Super Saiyan 2 adult Gohan. Now is Gohan's experience and control enough to take on the Berserk? Let's find out. Berserk Kale versus Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Who's gonna come out on top? All right, let's get right into it. This fight is beginning. Looks like Kale is going to go for a cheeky little ability there. She's going to go for this grab. She's starting with a little bit of a health advantage over Gohan, but not by much. He should be able to make quick work of this. A big clash here is going to go to Gohan right away. Let's see what they're going to do from here. All right. They both are wanting to get in close. We're seeing a lot of close-up, hand-to-hand combat fights today here, folks. All right, Kale coming in, just absolutely beating down Gohan. He uses that explosive wave to break out of the combo. He tries to dodge that little attack and manages to do a little bit of damage back to Kale, though she still has a lot more health on him. A big grab from Gohan is coming out. All right, now he's going to take this opportunity to charge. Kale not doing the same. All right, he hits that Sonic Sway, and that is going to be good for Gohan, though. Still no blast attacks coming out from either of these fighters. Gohan doing his best to put in the work against Kale here. Kale entering sparking mode, and she is going for this ultimate attack. Is this going to connect? It's a big super explosive wave, and that is going to clear the tournament arena. Everybody is running out of the stage now. And that is going to open up the stage to us, and that is going to connect on Gohan, leaving him with half of his health bar remaining. And folks, that is not looking good for Gohan. We'll have to see if he wants to enter sparking mode himself here. He very much could, but it doesn't look like he's going to. I think Kale is just too much for Gohan, though he is going to try to enter sparking mode here, but instead they go for the clash grab, as Kale was going to try to hit that rush, but instead she wins that clash, and now Gohan is looking quite worse for wear. She tore up his fit and everything. But now we have another ultimate attack. We could be seeing this explosive wave coming out. She's going to let him charge up, and she's going for this explosive wave again, and that is not going to connect. And Gohan is going for the Super Kamehameha, which Kale is wide open here. That is going to connect. It's not going to do as much damage as he has been dealt to, but it is going to... I mean, it's a valiant effort. I'll say that. Now, Kale is rushing in once again, but the stage gets in her way. Gohan dodging and now going on the offensive, but Kale just kicking him out of the stage. And that is Kale advancing to the next round. Folks, it's times like these where I just have to remind you that our bracket was completely randomized. Because in the first corner, we have Cell Jr., Cell's spawn. Little blue guys that are ready to take on the world. And who else would be their opponent but Beast Gohan, the ultimate power. This is probably not going to end well for Cell Jr. So, let's see what happens. Oh man, Cell Jr. versus Beast Gohan. I mean, this is just... Have paramedics on standby, please. Gohan, please go easy. He's just a little guy. Okay, a big Z counter duel right away. A huge duel, and that's actually going to go to Cell Jr. here. Okay, both of these fighters squaring each other up. Cell Jr. getting the first couple of hits off. Beast Gohan not looking awesome here at the beginning of this fight. Cell Jr. going for that high-speed rush, but instead has to hit this grab instead as that missed. Okay, Cell Jr. getting a lot of damage in on Gohan, but now Gohan is on the offensive himself. Let's see him charge up that ki a little bit. We could be seeing some beast kicks or some explosive demon waves coming out. We could also see a special beam cannon or something from Cell Jr., but every time he hits one of those grabs, it just shows how big this discrepancy is in power. But Cell Jr. is still doing a pretty good job here in this fight. trying to charge up some ki. We might see another high-speed rush come out. Beast Gohan is not looking so awesome in this fight. I'm going to be honest, folks. He's still in the lead, but only because he had a health advantage. But he's going to hit that grab once again, and that is going to connect, and that is going to still deal a lot of damage to Cell Jr. Now Gohan is charging up. We could be seeing that special beam cannon coming out. The solar flare, however, is going to come out, and he's still going to try to go for that special beam cannon even after being blinded, so that's just going to completely miss. Gohan still locked off, and now the Super Kamehameha is coming out from Cell Jr. If this connects, it actually might put them at about the same health, and it does connect, and Cell Jr. has taken the lead in this fight. Folks, I don't know if you remember the battle against Turles, but it did not look like this. I don't know what Gohan is on right now, but he is not looking good. If Beast Gohan gets knocked out of this tournament, folks, I think we might have riots. Another solar flare is going to come out from Cell Jr., but he's going to follow up immediately and deal a ton of damage with that nice combo. Gohan needs to get in and deal some damage to Cell Jr. here. Honestly, I can't tell if this is pity or if this is just Gohan having a bad day. Don't mind that Discord ping. That's not for you. Okay, he looked like he was going to charge up, but instead he's going to hit this Demon Whelp, and Cell is going to block it. Both of them are on the exact same health right now. Anything could happen in this fight, folks. Cell Jr. really looking good. But Gohan trying to get in, but a big Z counter is going to come out, and Cell is going to put Gohan on his last health bar. I cannot believe what I am seeing here, folks. Cell Jr., against all of the odds, is putting up an amazing fight against Gohan. Another solar flare, and that is going to let Cell Jr. deal a lot of damage to Gohan. Gohan is trying his best, but just can't keep these combos going, and that is Cell Jr. advancing to the next round. A complete upset. Beast Gohan is knocked out of this tournament. Alright, this next one should be a lot of fun. We have two Tournament of Power contestants. First up, we have Master Roshi, the Turtle Hermit, and he is ready to take on the Frost Demon from Universe 6. Are Roshi's special techniques enough to take on the sly cheater Frost? We'll have to find out in this battle. Alright, I hope y'all are ready for Roshi versus Frost. All right, let's begin. Roshi, while not at a health disadvantage, cannot fly, so that is going to make for some interesting interactions here. All right, right away, he's going for that false courage. He's going to get some armor here, so that is a good way to start this battle. He's going to be taking less damage, less stagger from Frost. All right, but that is already worn off. Both of these fighters about even in health. Frost coming out quick. Frost is going to have the health advantage, or not the health advantage, the speed advantage, I'm sorry. And of course, his power level is much greater. But this tournament is not about power levels. It is about technique. It is about how you use your abilities. And Frost is coming in using that poison needle. And that is going to deal a lot of damage to Roshi here in this fight. We'll have to see what Roshi decides to do to answer, but well, hopefully that poison doesn't do too much to him in way of his fighting abilities. All right, now both of these fighters have a lot of skill stocks online. We could be seeing some more skills here, though neither of them are taking opportunities to charge ki. A big grab from Frost. It doesn't send Roshi very far. And he tries for it again, and once again it does not send him very far, but Roshi, I don't know what's happening here. Roshi not looking so great in this fight. He keeps getting grabbed by Frost. Literally 4, 5 times in a row now, Frost has just grabbed, and there's 5, has just grabbed Roshi. It's just going over and over and over again. I don't know what they are doing here, folks, but I think Frost is just showing Roshi that it doesn't matter how many years of experience you have, old man, I am just more powerful than you. He's not doing anything other than just get a couple punches and grabs in. Trying to break through Roshi's guard here now. He's trying to get his second win, but I don't know. It is not looking great for the Turtle Hermit. This would be an opportunity for these fighters to charge, but Roshi is going for the false courage once again. He's going to try to keep his defenses up for as long as he can, but Frost seems to be able to break through them. That explosive wave is going to stop any progress that Roshi had. A big grab from Roshi is going to deal a little bit of damage to Frost, but folks, I don't think this battle is going to go the way of the Turtle Hermit. I think this is all Frost, and that's it. Roshi is out of this tournament. That's Frost. Moving on. This is getting ridiculous, folks. First up, we have Zamasu. He was a Kai in training from another universe, but he ended up turning evil, and our gang had to stop him along with Goku Black in Trunks' bad future. And his opponent is Zamasu. This is the fused version of Zamasu, where Goku Black and Zamasu fused. That was a really redundant sentence. But then again, this is a very redundant battle. Talk about a divine identity crisis. Will the pure ideology of Zamasu be able to withstand himself? Let's find out. Alright, Zamasu versus Zamasu. I wonder who's gonna win. My money is on Zamasu. Alright, let's begin. Which one of these immortal-bodied Zamasus is going to take the victory? Now, Corrupted Zamasu is starting with a health advantage, and he did just hit that nice little attack there at the beginning of the match, but anything could happen here. Alright, we are going in for a rush, but that is actually going to engage into this clash, and Zamasu is going to take that one. Now that he is charging up once again, he wants to hit this rush very bad, but that one's not going to connect either. Okay, both of them should take this opportunity to charge, but Zamasu instead is just kind of staggering there. It's very sad to see. And a big Sonic Sway coming out from Corrupted Zamasu as well here. He's looking very good in this fight. I mean, he is fused with Goku Black. That is an exponential power increase, and that is maybe a disaster for Zamasu Classic, Zamasu Light, who is now at 1.5 health bars remaining. Just a little bit of key charge from Corrupted Zamasu. Now he's getting in close. He's going to try to smack himself with that big ol' arm, his Jorkin hand, as some people would call it. And now he is going to get some buffs here. Let's see which both of these fighters decide to do. His charge in key rate is very slow. And now Zamasu is going to follow up with this rush once again. He tried to hit it a couple times earlier in the fight, and now he finally has. He's going to hit him with that little sword hand. Very cool. And now Zamasu is back in this fight, I would say. A couple more good attacks like that, and he could still take this victory. Winning little encounters like that as well is going to be very, very important in the long run, though he is almost on his final health bar. And now we are going in for this big old key ball. But it's just not going to be enough, as Zamasu was able to block it. And now he's going to go for it again. It looked like that is going to finish it off. I couldn't even finish my train of thought, but that is Corrupted Zamasu advancing to the next round. And Zamasu being removed from the tournament. You know, I was just thinking it's been a while since we've had a good old-fashioned Goku versus Vegeta battle. And that's exactly what we're about to get. In this era-crossing battle, we are going to see the mightiest form of Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Blue, take on the mightiest ego in the galaxy, Super Vegeta. Just don't let him point at himself, because that's usually when he takes a massive L. Alright, let's see which of these forms of Goku and Vegeta are going to advance or get knocked out. Right, a classic Goku versus Vegeta. It's Blue versus Super.
I have no time to waste. All the same, I want to have a good time here with you. The strongest in all the universe. Me, the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta!
All right, let's begin this battle. All right, Goku trying to charge ki right away. A couple ki blasts coming out from both fighters there. Vegeta getting some good hits in early. That is a nice combo from Super Vegeta. All right, both of these fighters are going to be going in. Once again, Vegeta doing a very good job here in the beginning of this fight. Goku looking a little bit lost, already down a full health bar. And now the final flash is in play, but he's going to go for the Big Bang attack instead. He could still use that final flash. He's going for another Big Bang attack, and Goku is going to block both of those. Seems like Goku is feeling a little bit confused, but his defense is getting better throughout this fight. He's adapting, he's learning here, folks. Alright, let's see what Vegeta's gonna try to pull out next. I think Goku might have also just been letting Vegeta get a couple early hits in as pity, because now Goku gets a really good combo off, and they are very similar in HP now. Goku hitting that instant transmission, and then dodging all of those attacks from Vegeta, hitting that Sonic Sway. Vegeta charging up once again. He's going to try to fly away. He wants to maintain this distance, try to charge up a little bit. Both of these fighters trying to regain some ki. Goku hitting the Kaioken early in this fight. He does not want to leave any skill, technique, power left untouched. Vegeta just flipping Goku over his shoulder, throwing him. All right, now Vegeta is going to get thrown by Goku, and Goku has taken the lead in this fight. This Kaioken technique is extremely powerful, though Vegeta is still holding his own here, folks. Vegeta looked like he was going to try to charge up to sparking there, but instead, he's going to hit this Sonic Sway, sending Goku flying, putting them at just about the exact same HP, and now he is going for the Spirit-Breaking Cannon, and that's going to connect. This rush from Vegeta is coming out. It's looking very clean, and that's going to put Goku on his last health bar. Let's see how Goku's going to answer back. He's going to have to deal a lot of damage now to come back, but a good combo from Vegeta sends Goku flying. Now Goku is in very, very little health territory. Any big attacks from Vegeta will end it here, and any of these small attacks, one by one, burn down the HP, and that is Super Vegeta knocking out Super Saiyan Blue.
At last, I have finally defeated Kakarot!
That is Vegeta moving on.
Alright, this next one should also be interesting, as this is a battle of pure evil versus pure hatred. First up, we have Evil Boo. This is a form of Boo that was purged of all of his goodness. And of course, we have Full Power Frieza, who's ready to use his full power to take on anything that stands in his way. So let's tune into Evil Boo versus Full Power Frieza.
Okay, Boo versus Frieza. This one is going to be very interesting.
Always warned me not to lay a hand on Majin Buu. I certainly hope your strength lives up to the rumors.
A little bit of lore between the two. Okay, let's begin. All right, Boo coming out right away with a couple good hits. He's gonna try to charge up some ki, vanishes, sends Frieza flying. All right, Frieza is going to try to do the same thing. Only a couple of hits here traded in this early part of the battle. All right, both fighters now getting in close. Which of these fighters is going to take the victory? Now, a lot has happened in the beginning of this fight, and nothing has happened at the exact same time. They're moving around like crazy, but not a lot of blows actually landing. That was a good little perception from Majin Buu. Again, health fairly even here. Boo trying to charge up, getting in close, but Frieza manages to vanish, preparing with that perception, and now he's going to get a good combo off, and that is going to cement Frieza's lead here. He's going for the Death Saucer, and that is going to just connect. Boo tanking that hit. Now Boo getting in, hitting Frieza with a bunch of good little punches, but Frieza manages to answer back with a couple of his own. Now Frieza's guard is up, and Boo backs off, but Frieza follows up with a nice punch. Now Frieza's charging up. He wants to enter sparking mode, but Boo's not going to let him. He goes for the Death Saucer once again. He tries to block it, but that's it. Frieza has defeated Evil Boo. That's going to be Full Power Frieza continuing on in this tournament.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I have no idea what to expect from this next battle. But first up is Goten, who unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to enter the Tournament of Power. So in this fight, he is going to be trying to show everyone why you never underestimate a Saiyan, no matter how little. Because his opponent is Ribrianne, who's already showcased a lot of power in this tournament. Can this warrior of love stand up against the tiny Saiyan Tyke? Let's get it.
Okay, it is Goten versus Ribrianne. Let's see if this little Saiyan actually has what it takes to stand up in the actual Tournament of Power.
Here I go. I hope you'll all be cheering me on.
All right, let's begin. Goten immediately putting up his guard, but Ribrianne missing those fights. Goten coming out swinging, absolutely upset that he did not get invited to the Tournament of Power, and he is taking out his frustrations on Ribrianne here early in this fight, making up the health difference between them. Not that it was much to begin with, and
I mean, Ribrianne has immediately gone and taken it back. But Goten is not done yet. Both fighters on the same health bar, though. Ribrianne is in the lead here. Hits this big grab on Goten, sending him flying. Goten is going to want to charge up, but Ribrianne is. And now these fighters are face to face, dealing blow for blow. And a big paralysis beam from Ribrianne is going to hit Goten, and she's going to grab him again and send him flying away once more. Goten, now with 3 blast stocks, needs to do a little bit of something here in this fight if he wants to bring it back. All right, he's going to use that false courage, get his defenses up, and he's going to try to get in here while he has that extra defense to break through Ribrianne's, but it is just not working for him. Goten now on his last health bar. He's really going to need to pull out something big if he wants to bring this fight back, but it is not looking great. Ribrianne, on the other hand, is looking quite calm and confident. She doesn't even really need to be going in as aggressive as she is, because it seems like this fight is all but over for Goten. And a couple of hits. He is in one-hit territory, and that is it for Goten.
Oh well, better luck next time.
But that is Ribrianne advancing to the next round. Howdy folks, Future Gunch here. I am so sorry to break the immersion here, but I completely forgot to record the fight announcements for the following 2 fights. So there's no special quips or anything like that. But I don't want you to miss out on those fights, and I also just don't want to record them properly. So we're just gonna run these next fights back to back. The first one being Super Janemba versus Full Power Broly from Dragon Ball Super. And that is going to be immediately followed by Piccolo fused with Kami versus Super Saiyan Future Gohan. Once again, I super apologize for this inconsistency, but I have taken far too long on this episode to get it out to begin with, so we're working with what we got. Anyway, enjoy. Alright folks, this is gonna be a good one. Janemba versus Full Power Broly. Okay, let's begin this fight. A demon versus the devil. All right, Janemba immediately getting some good hits off. However, Broly does have a health advantage here in this fight, and we'll see if Janemba can make quick work of that advantage. Broly getting some good hits off himself here. All right, both fighters dashing around the stage at light speed. Broly going for this grab, and that's going to connect. He's whipping Janemba around like he's nothing. And that is going to be Broly definitely taking the lead here in this fight, hitting that grab once again. Now Broly looking really good in this fight. He no longer has that initial health advantage, but he definitely has the advantage in this fight so far. Sending some Ki Blasts in. Janemba hitting that instant transmission type move, and he's going to hit this grab himself, sending Broly flying. These fighters should be taking this opportunity to charge up some Ki, but neither of them want to. And Broly going for the wild movement, getting behind Janemba, but he doesn't get much follow-up from it. Again, both of these fighters dashing around. I can hardly keep track of them. Janemba getting the win in that engagement. However, Broly's still a full health bar up on Janemba right now. All right, a big Z counter from Broly. He's going to take this opportunity to charge. It looks like he's going all the way. Oh, and Janemba getting in a little bit close, freaked him out, so he stopped, but he still has enough. He catches that fist from Janemba, and he's going to send him flying. Are we going to get any follow-up in the way of blast attacks? It doesn't look like it. We're getting another grab out from Broly, and Janemba's on his final health bar. Another grab is coming out. They are loving grabbing today. All right, Broly once again charging up. We could be seeing this beam come out, and that is going to connect, but Janemba is going to block it. It doesn't do enough damage to finish him off. Just any attack, however, will finish off Janemba, and that's exactly what he needed. Broly taking the victory. And that is Broly advancing to the next round. All right, it's Piccolo versus Future Gohan. Am I the only one crying, or is anybody else? No? All right.
Let's resume our training then, Gohan.
All right, let's begin. Looks like these two foes are not in it for the battle, but in it for the good memories. But right away, Gohan showing just how strong he's really become by absolutely decimating Piccolo's first health bar. Now Piccolo going for a grab himself, sending Gohan into the stage. All right, and that is going to be a good opportunity for Piccolo here to charge if he'd like to, but Gohan doesn't let him. Gohan vanishing all over the place, getting some really good hits in. Piccolo going for that grab, but he does not connect. Gohan does take the advantage in the beginning of this fight here, but it is still anybody's game. A big Snap Vanish duel is going to go to Piccolo there. He's going to charge up here. We could see one of many of the Piccolo/Demon attacks coming out. We have Masenko Special Beam Cannons, and that is going to connect, though Gohan is going to block it. Big dodge from Gohan. He's going to send Piccolo flying there. And now Piccolo does it right back. These two fighters are just about evenly matched. All right, Piccolo is going to be getting some defensive buffs here, and he's going to be going in ham on Gohan, getting a lot of really good attacks in and now taking this opportunity to charge. Gohan should be doing the same thing. All right, we're getting the Hell Zone grenade. Sorry, not the Hell Zone grenade, the Light grenade out. And now Gohan powering up to the very limit. He vanishes out of the way of that special beam cannon. He goes for a special beam cannon of his own, and that is going to be the end of his sparking mode, but he still has a ton of buffs here in this fight. All right, Piccolo once again getting his defenses up. Gohan trying to charge up a little bit. Now he is at a defense disadvantage because of that Insta-Spark move that he hit before. But it doesn't look like it matters. Both these fighters very evenly matched. Again, Piccolo taught him everything that he knows, right? So this just makes sense, even if Gohan is at a raw power advantage. Though Piccolo now on his last health bar is going to hit that Sonic Sway. Once again, Gohan sending Piccolo flying, and that is a lot of really good damage. The Ki Blast spam, just the fisticuffs coming out. Though Piccolo is fighting with everything, Gohan is very much proving to be the better fighter here, though it is still anybody's fight. Both fighters on their final health bars now. Piccolo getting a couple more buffs, though Gohan could also try to go for that power up to the very limit again. Sorry, I can't speak today, folks. A big grab from Piccolo is going to come out, but Gohan trying to dash in on Piccolo. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. Piccolo once again sending him down with the dash, but the Z counter from Gohan ends the fight. Man, that was close. And that is future Gohan advancing to round 3.
Now, there has probably been some fanfiction about this one. First up, we have the galactic gangster himself, Bojack, who would normally be facing Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But in this instance, his opponent is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Will Bojack's brute strength be enough to match the Ultimate Saiyan evolution? Let's begin Bojack versus Goku.
This is a very interesting matchup. I'm excited just to watch Super Saiyan 4 Goku fight, but we'll see what Bojack has to say.
I can't allow you to get away with the suffering you've caused innocent people.
All right, let's begin. Bojack starting with a health advantage, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku looking pretty confident here in the beginning of this fight, charging up. Now getting in close, doing a lot of damage right in the beginning, trying to make quick work of that health advantage, and he is doing just that. All right, a couple big vanishes come out, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku is going to be taking the early lead with this Kamehameha, perhaps. Though he is in the lead currently, that lead may not last for long, as Bojack did block that Kamehameha. All right, Bojack is charging up. Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't want to let him. Ooh, a nice combo from Bojack sends Goku flying into the stage. Both fighters trying to hit that perception. A lot of really good vanishes from both fighters there. All right, let's see which one of these fighters really wants to take this victory. Bojack is looking good. Now he has taken the lead in this fight. It looks like Goku is going to let him charge up. All right, and we have the Galactic Buster coming out, but Goku is going to dodge that, get behind Bojack, and he's actually trying to stay behind Bojack, which is a really good place for him to be so that he can just hit him uncontested. Bojack going for that grab. Goku not really doing much. Goku just standing still. Maybe he's done with this fight. It's hard to say. Both fighters trying to hit that perception. Both fighters also with all of their skill stocks currently. Bojack once again having taken the lead in this fight, but Goku activating the I'll beat you in 5 seconds. He has to get some attacks off if he wants to make good use of it, and he does, though both fighters are roughly the same HP. Goku is going to follow up here with the Meteor Crash. And that's going to do a lot of damage to Bojack, sending him down to his final health bar. Goku now a full health bar up. Bojack hitting the pump up. And now Goku is getting in, just wanting to finish off this fight. He hits Bojack with the grab, sends him into the stage, and now he's gonna charge up. We could see the Kamehameha finishing off this fight. We could even see the Dragon Fist. Now that Goku has entered sparking mode, he's going for it, and that connects. What a cinematic finish here, folks. We're gonna get to see the Dragon Fist take down the Space Pirate Bojack.
You've gone too far. Now you gotta deal with me.
And of course, that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku advancing to the next round. Finally, in this tournament, we are getting another chance to watch Broly fight. This is the Z version of Broly once again in his legendary Super Saiyan form, and his opponent is Cell in his perfect form. It's the ultimate bioweapon versus the ultimate berserker. Can Cell's calculated perfection survive the storm that is legendary Super Saiyan Broly? Let's find out. Alright, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly versus Perfect Cell.
Another insect, ready to die. My body is perfect in every way.
Okay, let's begin. Broly with a half health bar advantage on Cell. Cell looking a little scared, keeping his guard up in the beginning of this fight. Okay, a big clash. Who's gonna take this one? And that's gonna go to Cell. And he's gonna follow up with this death beam, and that's just gonna connect, dealing a ton of damage to Broly, making quick work of his health advantage, though Broly still in the lead in this fight. Both fighters flying around the stage, not wanting to engage. A big explosive wave from Cell stops that combo that could have been deadly from Broly. All right, Cell trying to get some good attacks and maybe using his speed advantage in this fight. But once again, Broly here. Oh, a big grab from Cell is going to send Broly away. The problem with fighting Broly is that he has impeccable armor. So that is just going to mean that Cell is going to have a really hard time breaking through with his punches. He's going to want to try to... Ooh, a big eraser cannon coming out. And Cell is going to block a little bit of that damage, though it still ends up doing around 2,000. As I was saying, however, Broly is just a really defensive, tanky guy. So Cell is going to be better off trying to hit some of these grabs as well as hitting some of these blast attacks rather than just trying to punch Broly. Broly, however, looking really good in this fight right now. A death beam coming out from Cell, but Broly gets behind him, is just going to begin pounding as he burns down a lot of Cell's health. All right. This death beam might be making contact. It does. I don't know if it'll be enough, though, folks. Cell is down to just about 1 HP. He's doing everything he can to keep Broly at bay, but the legendary Super Saiyan is just too powerful.
I haven't killed enough to satisfy my urges yet.
And that is Broly moving on. And folks, we only have one more battle here in part 1 of round 2. And if I told you I couldn't have written it any more perfectly, would you have believed me? This is the ultimate clash of father and son. First up, it is Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan. He may be little, but he was able to take on Cell in his perfect form. And I mean, just the music and everything about, it's just, peak. His opponent is Goku Super Saiyan 3. Folks, this is a battle of peak versus peak, Super Saiyan 2 versus Super Saiyan 3, icon versus icon. For our final battle of round 2, part 1, it's Gohan versus Goku. Let's go. All right, folks, I hope you're ready for the final match today. Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
My true power.
Looks a little different than usual, huh?
Okay, let's begin! Father versus son, Super Saiyan 2 versus Super Saiyan 3, both fighters coming out swinging in the beginning of this fight. Gohan taking the early lead, but Goku answering back. Okay, which of these fighters is going to take it? Is Goku powerful enough to stand up to Gohan at his true power? Or is Gohan powerful enough to stand up against a transformation beyond even his own limits? Right here, it looks like both fighters are about evenly matched, though Goku takes the lead here in the beginning of this fight. All right, Gohan trying to vanish behind him and gets a good grab off, sending Goku flying. He tries to follow up with some punches, but he is nowhere near his father. All right, he goes for the explosive wave to stop that grab from coming out from Goku. Goku sending Gohan flying away. Another grab from Goku is going to come out now. Gohan is now heartily in the disadvantage here. Both of these fighters are going to need to charge up, especially Gohan, if he wants to bring this fight back now. And that's exactly what he's going to do. We could see that Super Kamehameha come out. It looked like he was going to try to go for it there, but Goku managed to break some of his guard, stealing some ki away. Gohan has no choice but to just go in with his fists, and that's exactly what he does. He gets some good damage off, but Goku hits that grab, sending him into the stage. He does it again, just flinging his son around like one of his toys. Now Gohan does get behind Goku. They are on the same health bar once again, but Goku winning that Snap Vanish duel, and Goku is powering up to the very limit. We could see the Dragon Fist come out once again in this fight, and that is going to be Goku sending Gohan again. This is his opportunity to follow up if he so chooses to. Now Gohan could also hit the unforgivable. Is Gohan able to dodge this? He's not! That is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan knocked out of this tournament. Super Saiyan 3 advancing. And with the pose at the end to end it off, Goku Super Saiyan 3 advances.
And folks, that is going to bring us to the end of round 2, part 1 of Fantasy Fight Season 3. It's a lot of numbers in there. I really hope that you enjoyed our battles this time. There were some epic ones in there. And again, be sure to hit that sub button and ring that notification bell so you do not miss the next part of Fantasy Fight Season 3. But until then, I have been Gunchpot. This has been Fantasy Fight. Thank you everybody again so much for watching. And of course, as always, goodbye forever.